that written down, give us a call. There you go. If you don't get it written down, give us a call. We'll be happy to pass that along. As always, Oklahomans helping each other.
And because after the initial shock of what has happened to your property, then you got to figure out how you're going to do your day-to-day business. And this is something that's very important, of course, all across Oklahoma, big cattle ranching state, horse ranchers as well. So we want to get that out to you right now.
Mike Morgan standing by. You must be about to lose your voice, Mike.
I might be losing several things. I'll get back with you on that one, Linda. I want to talk to Kevin, though, here, Linda, about Kevin. Apparently, from what you've been talking about, what we saw on radar, that tornado literally went right over your house and set down on the other side of Bryant.
It did.
Didn't it?
Actually, it caused some damage on my side of Bryant, I'm being told now, and then skipped over and went into Thornbrook Village, which is on the other side of Bryant. So it was about 300 yards away from my place, but you know, no big deal for me, so I didn't have any damage, but the poor folks over in Thornbrook sure did, and some in my neighborhood as well.
Did your ears try to pop or anything? Because it was obviously coming down, you know, from the cloud.
Well, it was coming down.
You were probably watching it from the chopper coming down over your house.
Well, we were, and we were watching when you put up the map, the street map, we saw our street. And that's when we knew something was up.
That's when Ginger told you to get in.
Get in the storm shelter, which I did, and thank goodness. Yeah.
Man. Well, here's what's going on right now, and still some severe weather off to the northeast on the southeast side of Ponca City. Nothing has fired here. The computer models, the cold front's going to try to fire in northern Oklahoma, and there might be severe weather during the early mid-overnight hours. You know, midnight and a little bit beyond across northern Oklahoma. The main threat would be hail with those hail and some damaging winds. But the tornado watch officially continues till 11, but the cap has kind of re-strengthened. Now the sun has gone down. So the cap is re-strengthened and keeps these updrafts from being able to go back up and fire again, fortunately. So let's go to the storm tracker now and look off to the east and the north. And these are big, severe storms here. There's some big hail, could be easily golf ball or larger. And the biggest ones are now on the eastern sides of Kaw Lake Dam. On the highway, they're heading over toward Scheidler and Granola and over toward Pawhuska, which is right there. So this is a severe storm, and it's back building down into northern Noble County, southwest of Marland, and a little ways north of Sooner Lake and the Cimarron Turnpike. So that's a developing severe storm right there. Main threat with these so far is hail, but they're definitely coming up. So there may be some large hail developing, damaging hail northeast of Perry, not by very far, near Sooner Lake and up toward Marland and over toward Horseshoe Bend on the Arkansas River. This is what's left. The supercell that produced the damage in Shawnee's gone. It's completely gone. And the supercell that produced the Edmund tornado and the violent tornado in Lincoln County is also gone. It's completely gone. The cap choked it off. This cell here was actually south of the Shawnee storm, developed south of it, and it is now still a supercell, but not a tornado warning. And Mark Dillard was just talking about that because that's where Mark Dillard is, over in Okmulgee, which is right there on Highway 75 south of Tulsa. So Mark Dillard now is all the way over here. And we're going to be talking to Reed Timmer here coming up as well. Reed was physically inside a tornado 3 times today. And we're going to be talking to Reed hopefully around the 10 o'clock newscast tonight. That's our goal, is to talk to Reed, who's been inside of 3 tornadoes today, physically inside of them, and also tracking these tornadoes coming up potentially for tomorrow. So there's ongoing severe weather threat for sure. Let's go ahead and go back to the weather show here and show you the forecast for tonight. There will be a cold front approaching from the northwest later on tonight. Might try to firestorms mainly in northern Oklahoma. There's your chance of rain overnight tonight, 70s and 65 in Oklahoma City and 59 in Woodward tonight. And for tomorrow, this is Monday, stationary front over Oklahoma City acts as a focal point for more severe weather, and the highest risk of severe weather tomorrow will be from that front southbound and eastbound. A high probability of storms here, 90s with a strong south wind south of the front, and then a little bit less hot and muggy to the north of the front. And this will be the risk for severe weather coming up for tomorrow. And it is definitely an elevated risk. There's no doubt about it. This is the moderate risk for tomorrow. All of the metro, all of southern Oklahoma, and all of eastern Oklahoma. You're watching Oklahoma's News Channel 4 at 10 right now. And I think the main threat for tornadoes will be from Oklahoma City to the south and the east. So we're talking about areas that were affected by tornadoes today. So Kevin and Linda, that is the very latest from here. We're still tracking a few storms out there, so we're not done for tonight, but things are a lot better than they were a few hours ago, at least storm-wise. Back to you.
All right, Mike Morgan, thank you very much.
Ed Doney, part of our team. Of course, he would usually be sitting here this evening, but he is out covering tornado damage right now. Let's go to Ed.
Kevin, we're here in the Thornbrook addition. It is south of 15th Street between Bryant and Coltrane, and there is a real sense in this neighborhood and in surrounding neighborhoods of gratitude that the damage was not any worse, considering what these residents experienced and heard. Now, there is damage, of course, as you can see right here. Several trees in this area snapped like toothpicks. A lot of roof damage around here as well, as Jesse Wells reported earlier. But no homes were absolutely leveled like what we've seen in Shawnee and Pottawatomie County, but still, this was a frightening few moments for Edmund residents. There was no mistaking the presence of a tornado Sunday afternoon in southeast Edmond.
But I could feel the atmospheric pressure differences change.
Just south of 15th Street along Bryant, the twister uprooted trees and threw one of them on top of this truck.
7, 8, 9 seconds of the most intense white light and just wind blowing like nothing I'd ever seen in my life.
Now the cleanup begins for Chris Brennan and his family. Their pontoon boat buried in the backyard. On the east side of Bryant, in the Thornbrook Village neighborhood, this brick wall was flattened right outside Jill and Steele Jones' house. They just bought a transistor radio today, sort of a premonition.
Actually, there was. It's been all over the news. You know it's coming. I just didn't think it'd come to my house, so yeah.
I just thought it was going to be another gadget, but it actually paid off, so it was good.
Cameo Howell and Leslie Zacher put kids under mattresses as their ears popped and the tornado rolled by.
I was afraid we were going to come out and half of our house was going to be gone. We heard that boom when I think the front door blew open, and I thought, oh wow, that's the upper part of our house is like ripped to shreds.
A car window was smashed and a few roofs were damaged. But this home's open house will have to wait a while. Shannon Cross and her family took shelter in their closet.
Just hunkering down with the Iron Man helmet on the kids and the baseball helmets on, and the wind started moving up and the house started shaking and our ears popped, and the next thing I knew, our neighbors burst in the door screaming, "Are you guys okay?"
When they came out, their garage took the biggest hit, but they're keeping a positive attitude.
Well, I didn't like those trees anyway.
Well, a very positive attitude. We've heard people time and time again in Oklahoma come together and help each other out when you have a natural disaster like this roll through Oklahoma. And as Shannon said earlier, well, at least we got to meet all of our neighbors. A lot of community support happening right now in southeast Edmond. Guys, back to you.
It's something to be thankful for. Thank you, Ed. And also now we're receiving reports of an earthquake near Luther. What a day.
Yeah, no kidding. Tornadoes and now an earthquake near the Luther-Wellston area. Incredible. Let's go to Adam Mertz. He is in Shawnee with an update there. Adam.
Well, within the last couple of minutes, we've been pushed back out of this mobile home park. But what I want to show you right now are the people that are moving in here. You can see a steady stream of police lights. The Oklahoma County Mobile Command Center from the Sheriff's Office is on its way back there. There are multiple agencies out here, multiple police officers, sheriff's deputies, more than likely moving back in here to help with the search and rescue effort. I saw someone towing a large light kit so they can set up back there because, as you can see, it's nightfall right now, and they're just not sure if there are people still back in the debris where this tornado hit the hardest in this mobile home park. Now, we talked to a lot of people out here. They tell us that some of them were able to get out of here. They ended up going to relatives' houses nearby. Others had storm shelters back in here, but when they all came out after this hit, just utter devastation. There really is not much left in certain parts of this mobile home park. The ones that are hit the hardest aren't necessarily the ones here in the front. There are some that are still standing. They have minor damage, some roofs peeled off, maybe some damage to the sidings, but the true devastation really is about a half a mile back here. You can't see it from where we're at, but that's where all these officers are heading. That's where, if you walk around, it looks like someone just came through there with a shredder and destroyed everything, whether it be the trees, whether it be the homes. There really is just nothing left. The one person we spoke to who said that his grandparents lived back there, he said that he's never seen anything like this. It just, everything was gone. And what scared him the most was that he knew that his grandmother got out, and right now they're still looking for his grandfather. And more than likely, there are a lot of people here with those same exact feelings and same exact problems because they don't know whether or not their relatives were here when this hit. They don't know whether they got out. And there's a crowd of people that are just blocking the street here, just waiting for answers. They're not going to go anywhere. They'll more than likely be out here through the night, just waiting to hear something from authorities, waiting to find out about the fatalities, if there are any back in here. We heard reports, but again, officials are remaining very tight-lipped here on the ground. They don't want to say much until they have everything confirmed. Kevin, Linda.
Thank you very much. And it's going to be a long night for several groups of people. The Red Cross right now tells us that they have mass care teams in Kearney, Shawnee, and en route to Little Axe at this hour. Also, OG&E, they say they have assessors on the move to review damage from tonight's storms. Significant damage, restoration times unknown until assessments are complete.
And that's one area. Kearney, we saw some homes demolished there earlier, so they're dealing with this as well. As you said, Red Cross on the way. Let's go back to our eye in the sky. John Welch and Bob Moore, Chopper 4, Travis Shutton on the camera. Oh, boy. John, that's just... That's just disheartening there. Bless their souls.
This is, Kevin. You know, Linda and I talked about that, or we all talked about this earlier, just as nightfall, sets in, it's going to be harder. And as Adam was telling about earlier, he's just south of us now. And what we do, we have this, looks like a front-end excavator here, or a front-end loader that is actually moving some stuff out of the way. We have 2 fire trucks right there, and that's really all the light that we have shined on this one house, or really what's left of this trailer house. This is in the far north part of the park that we showed you from earlier today. The damage was obviously the most of the hit. We have fire crews in the rubble, moving debris, moving stuff around. We're trying to stay as far away as we can, just so we don't hamper their ability to hear stuff. But as Adam said, they were bringing lights up here, which is desperately needed, because really the lights they are using most effectively are the flashlights they have in their hand. The lights that are on the fire trucks are just kind of flooding about 10 or 15 feet, but that's as close as they can get. But the actual houses are a pretty decent ways into it, a couple 100 feet in. So now they're just walking around with flashlights. Emergency crews, this is by far the most densely populated area with flashing lights. There's this trailer park here as they continue to look for survivors. So this is going to be an ongoing deal throughout the night, and let's just hope that it turns out better. Kevin,
John, you made a great comment earlier, great insight. These people are mostly listening. They're trying to find people, but they're doing so with their ears.
You have to, because at some point night falls. It happens every night. So you're limited on the amount of light. You're limited on the amount of resources. I'm sure a lot of these counties might have, some extra light kits, but you can't go to, your local United Rentals or something and rent some of them, because everybody needs them. And there's only so many they keep stockpiled around. And, I'm assuming we're going to have dogs out here momentarily trying to help with that. And then it's just going to be, you're going to be listening to people and flashlights and trying to be as gently as possible, or walk gently as possible when you're over this debris, because somebody could be underneath you and you would never know it. We're kind of giving you a little bit coming around to the northwest side, shooting back towards the south here of this light, but you can see that's just 2 trucks, and that's really all they have. And without any street lights, and I'm not seeing hardly any celestial lighting or star lights, so rescue efforts are going to be very hard right here in this trailer park.
Going to have to, as Linda said, see with their ears tonight. All right, John, thank you. We'll be continuing to come back to you. Right now, we talked about the Red Cross. We have Christopher Summer on the phone with us right now. And Christopher, draw us a picture, if you will, with what you all are doing right now. You've got your hands full tonight.
And most importantly, how can we help you?
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys. Right now, we are doing a statewide effort